Welcome to Today in Space, the All Things Space Science podcast. I am your host, as always, Alex G. Orfanos. And this week, we're sharing a compilation of the best moments from the New Glenn ESCAPADE launch, where Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin successfully landed their first stage on their heavy lift rocket on only their second ever attempt. A massive feat that is now written in the U.S. space history books, and a huge day for the American space program, as we now have two reusable, capable heavy lift rockets, New Glenn and SpaceX's Falcon Heavy, which is really just three Falcon 9s strapped together, which is incredible. And then the third is SpaceX's Starship, which is the most capable, but for this episode, it's all about New Glenn and the amazing work the Blue Origin team pulled off after 10 years of hard work leading up to this grand moment in reusable rocket history. So enjoy the best moments of the launch, where we hung out live on social media. Make sure you're following us wherever you are on social media. And you can find all our links in our bio, or simply by going to stan.store/AG3D Labs. There you'll also see what we're up to, including our 3D printing company, AG3D Labs. We're here to help you with choosing your first 3D printer, troubleshooting your latest 3D print part challenge, or to hop on a call to discover how 3D printing can work for you. Just go to stan.store/AG3D Labs to learn more and book a discovery call with us. But now, let's dive into New Glenn's second launch, its incredible landing and recovery, and the successful deployment of twin NASA satellites to Mars called ESCAPADE. Welcome to our live stream. We're here just in time, just under 5 minutes until the proposed launch of New Glenn 2. This is Blue Origin's super heavy rocket that is sending its first real payload into space, and it's sending NASA's twin satellite mission ESCAPADE to Mars. So that is very exciting stuff. We are waiting to make sure that the countdown goes well, and if we're lucky, New Glenn will take off to the skies, and we'll see those amazing blue plumes out of the engines from the methane. And yeah, it's been a crazy adventure this week for them. They got the rocket on the pad, they were ready to go, and then that solar flare that happened was causing too much space weather, and NASA said, we don't want to risk the satellites before they go to Mars. So they've waited an extra day. Here we are the next day, and we're just waiting to hear about countdown. This is a launch hangout. So how it works, we sit here, we watch a launch, we put on the broadcast in the background. I'm here to answer any questions you guys have, or just to chat. I mean, it's literally a hangout, right? I would happily do this just by myself, but I figured a little while ago, it makes a lot of sense just to go live and hang out for the launch. So that's what we're doing. We're excited if you're here. We're live on LinkedIn, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and X.
And how it's going to help scientists learn more about the atmosphere on Mars.
Yeah, let's listen to
our friends
ESCAPADE.
over at NASA put together this great explainer on the importance of ESCAPADE. Let's take a look.
Mars, once a warm, watery world with a thick atmosphere. Now, a cold, arid landscape with its atmosphere thinned out. What caused this transformation? And how could this environment affect future Mars explorers? NASA's new ESCAPADE mission aims to find out. The Escape and Plasma Acceleration and Dynamics Explorers mission will help us understand Mars's climate history using two spacecraft in orbit for the first time.
ESCAPADE gives us what you might call a stereo perspective, two different vantage points simultaneously. This will allow us to really make measurements we've never made before.
The mission is studying the planet's real-time response to the solar wind, a relentless flow of particles from the sun that have stripped away the Martian atmosphere. ESCAPADE's twin spacecraft fly in two different formations to see how Mars responds to the solar wind in both time and space. The first formation allows ESCAPADE to observe rapid changes in the Martian atmosphere caused by sudden variations in the solar wind.
When we have two spacecraft crossing those regions in quick succession, we can monitor how those regions vary on timescales as short as 2 minutes up to 30 minutes.
In the second formation, ESCAPADE will study both the solar wind and the upper atmosphere of Mars simultaneously for the very first time.
we'll have one spacecraft in the solar wind so we can measure what's coming in, and then one spacecraft closer
Oh, I
to
love
Mars.
that visual
This will
right
help
there.
us understand the cause and effect of what's happening when space weather comes to Mars.
ESCAPADE will also help us prepare to send human explorers to the red planet. For example, ESCAPADE will give scientists more details about Mars's upper atmosphere that future astronauts will use to send radio and navigation signals around the planet. ESCAPADE's work could also help keep future Mars explorers safe.
The atmospheres can provide a shield that protect humans and other assets on the surface from things like solar radiation or intergalactic radiation. So it's important for us to understand how the atmosphere is changing.
NASA's heliophysics fleet is looking at the sun's influence, and with ESCAPADE, we'll now have multi-point measurements at Mars, which will help us have a more comprehensive picture of what's happening throughout the solar system.
The solar flare caused a space weather violation for the launch. And to her point, yeah, space plasma from the sun is a bunch of energy and matter that's adding more to, like, all of that energy will go into the spacecraft, and then all those electronics will get fried if they're not protected, which, you know, you can protect all you want, but there's just no reason to launch when there's been a solar flare and there's coronal mass ejections hitting Earth. But really cool that these two spacecraft are going to be investigating both Mars's atmosphere and how, like, solar weather happens out there. That is such a cool thing to have at Mars. I mean, of the places that we've been other than Earth, even at the moon, we know so little about it, and especially in comparison with, like, how humans can survive there. And Mars, we know even less. You know, we've got some ideas of where there's ice water, right? The South Pole, actually on both the moon and Mars, are places where you would end up sending humans because you would have water, but then you could also make fuel, technically. And so we're playing catch up in a lot of ways to, you know, we have this goal of sending humans to Mars, this goal of sending humans back to the moon, but there's so much groundwork. And the first people that are going to be going are going to be just as, you know, have just as little resources as the first astronauts that went to the moon. And at Mars, those people will be pioneers. Those people will be like the ones in the US that went west for the first time, right? It's a true adventure. And so missions like this are super important. And it'll be interesting to see what they learn of the atmosphere that still exists on Mars, right? How much of it is there? How consistent is it? How does it change over the seasons? And then this space weather aspect. You know, we know clearly based on what happened with the auroras here and some of the radio blackouts what solar weather can do to Earth with us humans. So not to mention auroras and stuff like that, but having those satellites out there at Mars, that's going to be fascinating. So it sounds like we're reset at 30 minutes. So we've got some time here before this takes off. I missed what exactly they must have done, but usually when they push it this far back, there's either some kind of fuel recycling that needs to happen, like some of the fuel burned off or warmed up too much, so now it's not holding as much, because the cryogenic fuel is good because you can put more mass, can get denser fuel in a smaller space. But if you wait too long, if you hold too long, you've got to top it off. So purge and top it off. So sounds like that's what they're doing. But we've got some time, folks. But yeah, so going back to why this would be a huge success for New Glenn, if on their second true flight of this brand new heavy lift rocket, which uses a lot of the architecture from New Shepard, which you've seen them go to the edge, the Kármán line, and send people to the edge of space. We've seen, you know,
celebrities, we've seen people with the wealth and means to purchase a ticket just straight up, and we've also just seen people that are doing experiments, right? Having that moment in zero G to perform an experiment in that condition. A lot of things in medicine and a lot of stuff learning how humans react to zero G. The International Space Station has done a ton of that. But getting your science to be done on the International Space Station is a very long list. And even if you get on that list, it can take a long time before your research ever gets there. And even at the rough price of $500,000 to send up on that New Shepard mission to the edge of space and back, that $500,000, if you need results quickly, is still within the means of doing a test, which I think is valuable. And with every one of those launches, they test the BE4 engine, which is a variant of the engines that we have here on board New Glenn. And so this becomes, every launch that they do becomes another data point on how do we launch a rocket. And they have landed, I think, at least if it didn't have an issue on the way back, every time they've attempted a landing with New Shepard, they've succeeded. So it's not like they've never landed a rocket before. They just never landed a rocket of this size going that high in orbit with that much speed that they have to slow down before it attempts a landing. And then there's the logistics of the ship lining up with the rocket to stick the landing. Lots of things going on. This will be, if they get to orbit, this will be the first time that they will have tried that. And if they nail that, I mean, that is a huge vote of confidence in how well they understand their own technology and how good the information in the simulations are that they're running for real life scenarios. So I'm bullish on Blue Origin. They've had plenty of time to develop. They've been working on a lot of different things. I know a few very brilliant people that are working over there. They've got the talent. They've got the longevity of flight history, granted on a smaller rocket. But if they do this, that will be insane.
Terminal count system is active. From here on out, the vehicle is running fully autonomously on software.
Engaged.
Let's go, New Glenn.
T-minus 330. Rapid retract armed.
Okay, we've got the tower
Magic
pulling
charge
back.
initiated.
All right, folks. Almost T-minus 3 minutes.
How exciting here. We're ticking down. In 3 minutes, we're going to launch this vehicle to space. We're going to put 2 satellites on their way to Mars.
Yes.
And we're going to try to land that booster for the first time.
Red planet bound.
So exciting. And a big props to our launch control team that has managed to do a recycle on this vehicle. We want to fly today, Tabitha.
Oh, there are the cheers. Yes. The energy is palpable. Our launch director, Megan Lewis, she's in the control room now. I know this is an exciting moment from her.
Let's go, guys.
There we have employees from
Magic
all
charge
across
complete.
the United States. This is Huntsville, Alabama. Big shout out to our
T-minus
teams
230.
there. And of course,
GS1 pre-press
HQ,
start.
Ken Washington, we
Ken
see you.
Washington.
Let's see it.
All right, rocket going through its last
GS2
motions
chill
here,
pre-press start.
making sure the tanks are pressurized to their proper
Almost
flight
T-minus
levels.
2 minutes.
That's right.
I'm excited too.
A warm day in Florida, but that rocket is super cold
Nice
with its
and
chill
cool.
and
T-minus 2 minutes.
propellants.
T-minus 2 minutes, people.
T-minus 2
They have
minutes
to
to
assess
go.
capacity charge.
LNG on the first stage, liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen on the second stage. New
See
Glenn
that blue flame
looking
from that
beautiful.
methane.
And there you go.
Beachgoers with a great view.
What makes this place so special down here on the Space Coast?
Man, I gotta get to the
A
Space
day on
Coast
the
again.
beach, but you can sit there
T-minus
because our pad
130.
is so far south. a spectacular
Power
view
internal.
for everybody here
Let's go.
in Cocoa
It's
Beach.
rockets
Now we've
primed.
transitioned from ground power to the vehicle's own internal power. I mean, we are getting close. Ariel,
Almost
hold
at
my
T-minus
hand.
1 minute.
I'm getting really excited. There are those BE4s, 7 of them, ready to take New Glenn.
3.85 million pounds of thrust
T-minus
combined
60 seconds.
Let's go. T-minus 1
in just
minute.
60
Range
seconds
green.
here, as
AFSS
mentioned
flight
before.
enabled.
We will light 4 of the engines, then 3 of the engines, just about a second or 2 off for a staggered start. You'll see the big water deluge, and that's when you know that it's game on.
T-minus 40.
I love hearing all those sounds.
You hear the power
Gotta
up.
get past
Certainly
T-minus
do.
20.
And with that,
You'll see that water any second now.
let's
T-minus
turn it
30
over to
seconds.
launch control. Let's go, New Glenn.
GS1 hydraulics internal.
Never
Come
tell
on.
me
GS1
the
at flight
odds.
level. GS2
Come on,
at flight
Blue
level.
Origin, you got this. Let's go, Team Blue. Oh, we're past T-minus 20.
Autopilot enabled.
T-minus 15.
T-minus 10.
T-minus 10.
9. 8.
7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1.
Lift up. Effective. Close motion.
Let's go. Yes.
New Glenn has cleared the tower.
Engines look good.
New Glenn has cleared the tower.
Let's go, Team Blue. The tortoise has waited long enough in the race. Let's go.
30 seconds into flight. Engine operating continuing to
That's
full
good.
thrust.
Focusing on that. Come on.
40
That's
seconds
a
in.
great shot.
End of roll strips now level.
Let's go.
50 seconds into flight. Continue to take good engine operating parameters. All set.
A clean burn. We're coming up here on max Q.
Rocket is
maximum
working.
dynamic.
1 minute into
This
flight.
is the
Heading
hardest
towards
point
max Q.
on the vehicle when it comes to the
Body rate response
pressures and
continue
the
to look good during
speed.
ascent.
We want to see
Engine
this
operating
rocket
parameters
punch
continue to look
through
good.
that max Q.
Seeing
Let's
good
stand
sheet
by.
control, good on
Let's
mark
go.
control.
Love what I'm seeing out
1
of
minute,
this
15 seconds in. Now passing Mach 1, New Glenn is now supersonic.
Let's go.
Supersonic.
And we can hear the
1 minute, 30
roar here.
seconds.
Rocket ball.
Engine operating parameters continue to look good at full thrust.
Rocket engine
Max Q,
still
maximum
working.
dynamic pressure.
Some fire in that area, but it's okay as long as it doesn't affect the engines.
1 minute, 45 seconds in.
We have passed
All
max Q.
7 V4
What
engines
is
continue to
real?
look good. Body rate phenomenal. Seeing good control on MR and TVC. Acceleration profile phenomenal.
Got chills, man.
Now passing 2
The
minutes into
7
flight.
BE4s, unreal.
One minute
B4
remaining in
engines
boost
look
phase.
good.
All right, 1 minute remaining in boost phase. You heard our team say. Then we'll hit Miko, main engine cutoff. That's going to lead to a sequence of events. We will separate the first stage from the second, and that's when the first stage is going to begin its journey back home. We're going to see if we can land the booster separately.
progress
Of
bar
course,
on the
we
bottom.
will get the second stage
Very
off
happy
and
that we're
going
continuing
with the
30
NASA
seconds now
progress
SDK
on
satellites
the burn.
on board.
Telling people more on what's happening so they visually know, oh, main engine cutoff's coming up next.
Body rate response
Great to hear that
phenomenal.
good data quality.
All 7 engines continue
Looking
to look
nominal.
good.
Here we go, main engine cutoff. And then
Next
separation.
up, Miko, which is main engine cutoff.
Here we go.
The cheers are real. You can hear them all the way in here.
And we have Miko.
And
There we
have
go.
Miko.
And we have good stage set.
This is critical.
Stage separation.
As you're seeing,
And we have
the
ignition.
black up
Stage
there is
2.
the engines of the
Both
second
engines
stage,
parameters look
the
good.
top of the first stage. Oh, that image was
You
just
see the
off.
two rockets there?
Body rate stamping out nicely.
You got separation. That's great. Stage 2's ignited.
Both B3U engines
They're at
look
the edge
good.
of space, the carbon line, that's fantastic.
Body rate responses look good. 3 minutes,
Love
43
it.
seconds into
Here's
flight.
what we're looking for.
Look at that view.
Let's go, Team Blue. It's not over yet. Fairies need to jettison. Let's look for that. Yeah,
We have good
they are.
indication of payload
Very
transaction.
nice jettison.
Both B3U engines
Great.
continue to look good.
They're-
Body rate
they're
responses
flying.
normal. We're seeing good data coming down from both stages.
Great data.
That's
We're 4
great.
minutes into NG2.
That's great. The engines look solid. Yep, that's the first stage. So now we've got
And
to
you saw
pressure
the
they're going to
spectacular
attempt that
view
landing. They're going to be
down from our
purging
GS2.
fuel to make sure that the
Good.
engines are ready to
A
roll.
9.5 minute burn for GS2. 4 minutes, 25 seconds into flight.
All right. So again, this is their first time attempting this type of thing. For real.
Wow. All right, at 9 minutes is when we're expecting the first stage to touch down
9
on
minutes.
Jacqueline.
Where are we? Where's your clock? Come on, folks.
Approximately 2 minutes remaining in the GS1 coast.
You should have the terminal count. You should have the launch
Thank you
clock
again,
on
everybody,
the
for
screen.
joining us for NG2 so far.
That's my
a
feedback for
nominal
Origin.
mission.
GS2 is now
Our second
320
mission of
kilometers
NG2.
downrange.
It could be right
Traveling
underneath
at
the
2.8
mission
kilometers per second.
NG2 in the top right
Trajectory
We
there.
had a
continues to look
clean
good on
ascent
both
burn,
stages.
clean separation, clean fairing
Right down the middle of the range
jettison.
track. Engine operating parameters on GS2 look good. 5
Sounds
minutes,
like our
16 seconds.
So those little flashes there, that's the reaction control thrusters, keeping the orientation of the booster.
Now
Right
entering the
now.
descent phase.
And we've got GS1
The
coming
E3Us
down
continue
for
to look
landing
good. GS2 body
at
rate's
T
nominal.
plus 9 minutes.
Guys, you got to put the launch clock on the screen. All right, so that was it going the speed of sound. So that broke the sound
1 minute
barrier
remaining
there.
in the GS1 coast.
It's finally hitting all the atmosphere.
Continue to see good data coming down from both GS1 and GS2.
Yeah,
Body rates on both stages look good. E3
it is really crazy. You've got this skyscraper of a thing coming back through, and you're up in orbit, basically the edge of space, where there's almost no particles. You're trying to slow yourself down, and then as you're coming in, you're falling faster and faster and faster, and then there's more and more particles, and then all of a sudden you smack right through, hit the speed of sound. Crazy.
100
6 minutes,
kilometers
30
up
seconds
there,
into
coming
flight.
in for a landing on the Jacqueline, 375 miles offshore, waiting for the first time to land
and
Blue
standing by for
Origin's new
GS1
blend
ignition
booster
shortly.
on the Jacqueline.
Yo, let's go, Blue Origin. I like what I'm seeing. A lot of control with the booster. We don't have a lot of data. We don't have altimetry. We don't have speeds.
See body rates on GS1.
That
But,
looks
okay,
great.
so
We
that's
have our
3
booster
engines
re-entry
lit.
burn. Oh, all 3 engines.
Let's go. Great
No
tracking
matter what
shot,
happens
though.
next, we have had
You
a
guys are
good
doing
day.
great.
This is further than we made it on NG1.
That's right.
See indication of engine ignition on GS1. Continue to see good data from GS1.
I will say I like the horizontal
About a minute and a
GS2
half.
engine
3
parameters
engine
look good.
ignition there. That's a cool look on the booster. You got 7, Starship has 33, which is crazy.
Horizontal
flight.
position. We've got the strakes on the base of the booster, which give it lift. So we can basically fly this booster. Of course, we're using the forward fins as well, plus some of our reaction control system to, as well as the gimbling
GS1
on the
now
beating
passes
forward
descent
engines
crazy,
to
dude.
turn
8 minutes
the rocket
into flight.
accordingly. On here, it starts to tilt
GS1
down.
now halfway
1
in its
minute to
planned
go.
burn.
Here we
GS1
go.
Less than
GS2 systems
40,000
continue to look
feet.
good.
Let's go.
GS2 throttle down complete.
Oh my
Response
god,
is
if
good.
they nail this, that's gonna be insane.
8 minutes, 20 seconds into flight.
Come on, Blue Origin.
And record landing burn ignition.
Give it a good-
And we have
give
landing
it a
burn
good
ignition.
go.
See 3 good engines.
We've got our booster landing
here we
burn.
go.
control looks good.
Come on.
Of course those plans are there.
8 minutes, 43 seconds. Flight deployed.
Where's that shot? Where's that shot?
Countdown.
Great shot from our booster.
Standing
Oh,
by.
there it is. There's the pad. No. No. Oh, come on. I'm buffering. Oh,
Standing
my
by for
God.
touchdown.
Oh.
Touchdown confirmed. GS2 continuing to work. Turn system looks good. Weapon out full time.
Oh, my God. What?
To its blue origin.
What?
GS2 systems continuing to operate well. Just continuing to its planned burn. Operation looks good. And we're good on Mars. GS2 trajectory is now right down the middle of the racetrack. 10 minutes, 15 seconds.
This is incredible. Guys, when I started this podcast, I was having conversations with people who were teaching you about this. And they were saying it wasn't possible. And now, 10 years later, we have multiple companies, multiple private US companies that launch and land reusable spacecraft and rockets. Reusability was literally thought of as an impossibility. That throwing away the thing that sent you to space was just the way we did things. And here we've got Blue Origin on their second attempt. Granted, 10 years of data on launching and landing a smaller rocket, but that helped them do it here. That helped them land a heavy booster. Guys, this is insane. And it's huge for Blue Origin. This means that their launch costs can stay low. It means that they're now able to relaunch this rocket potentially, right? Assuming that the refurbishment that needs to happen isn't too great. But look at that tech. I love the hidden legs within the shield there at the bottom of that rocket. I think that's awesome. I love seeing a different approach to this other than just how SpaceX is doing it, right? We don't have a space industry if it's just one company. And SpaceX has done amazing stuff. They're continuing to do amazing stuff. But one of the biggest things that SpaceX did to the space industry was they showed that reusability was possible. And not only that it could be done. Even though the smartest, most brilliant people, wow, look at that. Oh, that's such great control. That came in. So, looking at that, New Glenn has control of itself. It's able to shed all of that speed and heat and energy of what it has to do to get into space and then come back. But also it had pinpoint accuracy, and it didn't even look like it struggled to land. That is a mastering of physics that you need to have reusability, and now it's not theory anymore. It's reality. Blue Origin is a reusable rocket company, and they have a bright, bright future ahead of them. The booster has to make it home, obviously. Sometimes stuff happens at sea, but it looks like they've got a plan. But this is huge. Next, they obviously need to get the the payloads to Mars, right? Like, great, you landed a rocket. If you don't get the mission to Mars, that's something else. But I mean, now's the time to celebrate.
Hey guys!
Listen to that.
That's right. Oh,
That's hardworking people that have spent their lives doing this, man. Second attempt landing this. What?
GS2 systems
Way to go, Team Blue.
not only is the vehicles in its
You guys
We
are
love you too, Huntsville.
well deserved. Well deserved.
I see you.
Mars of Dust. Great song.
That just shows you the passion and the dedication of every single person that works here at Blue Origin.
Well-
And Eddie, you're with our friends here at Rocket Park.
David Limp has earned his paycheck. Well done.
GS2 is now 3,020 kilometers downrange, track 7. And we have good indication of Escapade Blue
We
spacecraft
do have
separation.
On the
payload
left.
separation
Escapade
confirmed.
separated.
Go Blue.
Now we've got the second
Payload coming
on
up,
the
as
right.
we mentioned. Just about a couple of seconds more here.
That's what the whole mission was about.
Standing by for spacecraft 2 set.
Oh, beautiful live shot from over 700
Escapade
miles
Gold
in
separation
space.
confirmed.
And gold has separated. Congratulations, Escapade. Both blue and gold have successfully deployed. We have
It's Barbara
successfully
Henry
landed
too,
the
man.
booster, and we have successfully deployed both
Oh,
the blue
this is huge.
and gold
Man.
satellites for Escapade.
2 for 2. There goes our robotic vehicle
Let's
that
go,
is
Team
securing the
All of your
GS1
hard work
onto the Jacqueline.
That's right.
Has paid off. This is a huge demonstration
Absolutely
today.
spectacular.
Like, couldn't have gone more perfectly. Yeah, it's a huge, huge day. Thank you everybody for hanging out for this launch hangout. This has been a blast. I am going to start prepping dinner here, but Spofford, Deborah, thank you so much for joining me in the chat. It was a blast hanging out with you guys for this launch. NASA has 2 spacecraft heading to Mars. Congratulations to UC Berkeley and Rocket Lab for building those satellites. It's good. So it is you, EJ. God damn, I thought it was. I wasn't sure. But I was like, if there's an Ed Spofford that's in the chat, it's got to be EJ. It's good to talk with you, man. Yeah, it has been too long. Let's catch up. I've got some time. Would love to chat, bro. But fuck, it was great. All right, everybody. Have a great day and stay curious. See you next time on Today in Space.